I'm Dave Jeske with Blue Spruce Toolworks, and I make marking knives. And one of the questions I get from a lot of my customers is, how do you sharpen a marking knife once you use it a while? So I want to demonstrate that. It's really quite simple. A marking knife has a one side that's flat, and the other side has two bevels, and it makes it cutting edge, just like a chisel. So the main thing you want to do when you go to sharpen it is to just lightly flatten the back, and then you want to hone the edges. Now, a marking knife does not have to be razor sharp like a chisel. Actually, it makes it a little bit harder to use if it's that sharp. So I'm going to show you some techniques that I like to use that actually soups up the marking knife and makes it easy. So the first thing I want to do is just to touch up the back a little bit. This is a 4,000 grit Waterstone. Anything between 2,000 and 6,000 grit works pretty well. So you just hold it flat on the stone and just give it a little bit of action there. Get a little slurry mixed up there. And that's really all you need to do. You just want to kind of just flatten it a little bit. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hone the two bevel edges. What you want to do is kind of rest your hand on the stone, adjust the bevel so it's flat against the stone like that, and then what I do is just draw it back just a few strokes, and then I rotate the knife, still holding the same orientation. Find the flat on the bevel. You can kind of see where the slurry comes up there, and so you know it's flat. Do a couple more strokes back. And then what you do is you want to check the work and see, make sure that you are hitting it, and you can see where it's polished there and there. So that's good. Now that makes it sharp, but in order to make it work even better than that, I do a couple little tricks. It's nice if the very tip of it isn't a true point. If it's a little rounded, that makes the knife track in the wood better. So what I do is I just kind of hone a radius on there. I put it on the flat, and as I draw back, I rotate the knife a few strokes. So what I'm doing there is I'm knocking off that really sharp point and giving it just a very slight radius, just like that. So you can kind of see where it's polished off. That's the first step I do. The second step is when you're using a marking knife to mark your pins from your tails. Some users have a problem with this edge actually cutting into their workpiece. And what you want to do to help that situation is if you put a very slight back bevel on both edges. So if you put it on the stone and just raise it slightly and just give it a couple little strokes. Couple little strokes back like that. And what that does is it gives a little back bevel on the marking knife, and that helps prevent it from cutting into the workpiece. So if you do those things, I think you'll find the marking knife very easy to use, and you can see how quick it is to keep sharp.